Hi everyone. So currently we are working on our Fairtrade product at school. You are working in a group and you will be pitching your product to the rest of the class. So we're going to learn a little bit about the theory behind that project. So we're going to understand the impact of enterprise on people, learn about some initiatives that benefit people, and learn what market pull and technology push are and how they affect people. So, companies start with a person and an idea. When someone has a great product or a great service that they want to share with the world, perhaps they've identified a niche in a market, they have identified a new business opportunity. Hopefully you may have seen Dragon's Den at some point, and they are coming to the Dragons for financial backing and somebody to support them through the process, and there's a real risk involved, but at the end of it, hopefully it's worth it. They're doing something they feel is really worthwhile, really beneficial. So an enterprise means starting a new business or expanding a current one, maybe to bring in a new product or expand it to a different country. An entrepreneur is somebody who does that. Now, here are some examples of some young entrepreneurs, people in their late teens, early 20s. But entrepreneurs can be any age, not just in their 20s and 30s, but all in their 50s and 60s. It's all about what product or service they are trying to share and how passionate they are for it. Now, down at the bottom here, you can see I have included a YouTube logo. That is to remind you to go and take a look at a video I've included about what being an entrepreneur is really all about. So it's a slightly longer video. You could just watch the first few minutes to get a slightly better understanding, and hopefully that will give you a better idea. Oops. So obviously, when you are starting a brand new business, you need money to get it up and running. There's a lot of initial costs involved, and that's why so many people go to Dragon's Den. So there are the traditional methods, which is taking out a bank loan or finding someone with a vested interest to actually back you and give you a portion of their own money, or maybe company. But nowadays, a lot of people will turn to crowdfunding. So Kickstarter, for instance, is one of the best known crowdfunding websites that are out there, where individual people can pay a sum of money, a little bit more than the product itself, to get that company up and running, and then they get the product in return once the product is out on the market. Online backers as well can be another useful financial source. Now, another YouTube video for you, which is all about one of the most profitable Kickstarter projects that was listed, and you might be surprised about what it is. It's really worth a watch on that one. Really good video. So another way that we need to make money and make profit is to market yourself virtually and through retail as well. So this is about promoting your company primarily online, and obviously you've seen lots of these in the form of advertising online. Social media is a way that you can do it for free. So you could publish on Facebook, or you can start an Instagram account. But you can also obviously do it through an organisation that will make you money, so primarily a website like Etsy and Wix. So these are different ways of making money online. Have a little think about what other examples you can include for your notes. So let's talk about cooperatives and fair trade. So a cooperative is any business that's owned and run by its workers. The profits are shared equally. So in a conventional hierarchy for a company, you have one person at the top who's the CEO, and then you have the people that work under that person. Sometimes it's a hierarchy, it's a tier, and typically the person at the top, the CEO, is paid the most money. Now, some companies might work that way, but a number of companies think that that is unfair, not fair on the workers. So the workers will get together and decide that they have all the skills, they know what needs to be made, they can distribute it themselves. They don't need somebody just to tell them how to do their jobs. So they get together and they decide how they're going to run the business together. It's a community project. And then they make sure that everyone's paid the same amount. Now, fair trade is one special aspect of cooperatives. So all fair trade is a cooperative, but not all cooperatives are fair trade, where these farmers can get together, and not only do they own their own business, but they will get together with local businesses in an area, and they negotiate the value of their product, their crop or their animal product, for a higher, fairer price. Now, the Fair Trade organisation is a very special organisation that oversees that project. It works worldwide, and as long as it has the logo on it, you can see there, it looks like a person waving, and where the green represents nature and the blue represents trust. The Fair Trade company makes sure that these people are being represented. I should also note that not only do you have cooperatives in countries far away, like the lovely ladies here who are making argan oil, obviously the ladies here making baskets, but you have cooperatives in the UK, in Europe, in America, and there's they're where they've got together and they run the exact same way. So it's not just something that happens across the world, it's local too. The cooperative, that you've probably got one local to you, or the cooperative funeral, that's how they started. There you go. So moving on. So not only do we have enterprise, but we have improvements. So manufacturers are always trying to make a bit more profit if they're being successful. So they want to offer new and better versions of their products. So there are two main drivers that get new products out on the market. The first is what people say that they want from the manufacturers, and the other is what the manufacturers can provide. What's new, what's innovative, what's different. So what consumers want, we call this market pull, as in the customer, the market that is for this product, and their desire, their pull, their need for something new. So it's obviously dictated by changing fashions, changing styles, not just actual fashion in terms of dress, but in terms of electronics, perhaps, and cars, right? So this is about a status symbol, typically. It's the latest brand, the latest trend. How can people be one up on their friends? How can they have what they consider to be the best thing that's out there, something most interesting? Designers will do this. They continue to make products. They like that drive. Obviously, they're not always considering sustainability in that regard, though. So the example I have here is of the Apple store and people queuing and even staying outside in tents, sleeping outside, ready for the new iPhone to be released. I think that's a very good example of market pull. On the flip side, we have what manufacturers can provide. So this is called technology push, i.e. what is being pushed out there, what's being offered to us, what's being forced upon us, as it were. So here are some really good examples. So we've got new technology. So we have a very old computer, just from the 80s, 90s, but we have a massive battery. Just battery technology alone is is absolutely fascinating. New screen developments. We've gone from black screen with green writing on top to user-friendly interfaces which are bright colours and move. From mice to being able to touch-sensitive screens. It's amazing. So all of this is based on new research, development, new materials, smart materials, modern materials, and a drive for new releases. It usually results in the new products being cheaper, more functional, and often more efficient. If you think about a television, for instance, they used to be enormous, bulky things that used a lot of energy to run, and they got very, very hot, very inefficient. Nowadays, they are slimline. Everyone has at least one in their home. Most people have a couple because they're pretty cheap and they're easy to run, and you can hang them on a wall. But of course, we do need to consider how built-in obsolescence, how planned obsolescence links into this. If I go back to the example of the television, often the first thing that goes from a TV or a smart TV is actually the electronic programming that goes into it. It's very rarely the actual screen, the actual device itself. There's a shift there where the manufacturers rather want consumers to buy the latest smart TV because they just make it ineffective. So we really do need to consider that, obviously, when we go. I have another example here, which is about electric cars, where actually this is a nice combination of market pull and technology push. There's the new battery technology that's coming out, which makes electric cars potentially viable in the very near future. Is a great example of technology push, and people wanting to move away from burning fossil fuels, which increase climate change, they want those new electric cars in a combination with solar panels on their roof, and that's an example of market pull. So to finish off, I would like you to think about the following examples. So we have an iPhone, a woman's blazer, and a wind-up radio. Have a little think about how technology push and market pull have influenced each of those three products, and I'd like you to think of a couple more ready for us to talk about in class when I see you next. Okay, take care. Bye.